For over 15 years, Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated has been a beacon of light, guiding local families through difficult times. Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated proudly provides all families with compassionate choices for professional funeral care at reasonable prices. Get the answers you need 24 hours a day. No answering services, hidden costs, add-on fees, confusing fine print, or those scary-looking contracts. Remember, Gallup Funeral Services owns and operates the only crematory in Dare County, keeping our cremations affordable and convenient. Gallup Memorial Chapel in Bargo, North Carolina is now open and minutes from Moyock and Elizabeth City. From traditional church services and graveside burials to direct cremations and advanced planning, let Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated light the way for your family. Don't be pressured or confused by the other funeral homes. It's always your choice. Choose Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated. Call Courtney at 252-216-8030 to get a plan started today and visit our new website at gallupfuneralservices.com.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
News team, assemble!
Joining us live because if you want to know anything about the Outer Banks, Sam Walker's the dude to fill you in.
The sea was angry that day, my friends, like an old man trying to send back soup in a deli.
Always appreciate talking.
Always good stuff with Sam Walker in the Outer Banks.
Now here's Les Nessman and the news.
Simple binary code, transmitted by carrier wave signal. Radio.
And good morning, everyone. Welcome to OBX Today, presented by Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated on OBXToday.com and also OBX Today Facebook page and the Sam Walker OBX YouTube channel. Monday, November the 1st, 2021. Glad to have you along with us to kick off a new week, and we've got quite a bit to get to this morning, and that includes... the tropics. Let's jump right into a tropical weather update because we do have some stuff out there. After a pretty decent lull over the last couple of weeks, we have had things kick back up in the tropics. We've got subtropical storm Wanda, which is about 1,900 miles to the east of Cape Hatteras, and we do have one area down in the tropical Atlantic to be watched for possible development. None of this is going to be a threat to us whatsoever. What's significant about Wanda is that she is the last name on the 2021 tropical cyclone list for the Atlantic. It's the second straight year, only the third time in the satellite era the list of hurricane names for the year has been exhausted, as subtropical storm Wanda formed in the central Atlantic on Saturday. What really was the remnants of a nor'easter that brought high winds and power outages to the coast of New England almost 2 weeks ago became better organized and has been taking on subtropical characteristics over the last couple of days. And as of this morning's 5 a.m. advisory was with maximum sustained winds of 50 miles per hour. Moving southeast at around 7 miles an hour. And this system is not really going to get any better organized. It is not at all going to be a problem. May get a little bit stronger, but the latest discussion says there's not much left as far as getting much stronger, but it may maintain its tropical storm strength into the weekend. Before it becomes a subtropical storm. And let me pull up our latest look from the National Hurricane Center. Here is some the 5 a.m. advisory for us, the 9 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time advisory. And here's where this, again, 1,900 miles, about 1,900 miles due east of Cape Hatteras this morning. And it's going to kind of meander to the east-southeast today, before it starts making a more northward trek up the Atlantic by the middle of the week and into the end of the week, and really just kind of meander around out there, not really do much. It may eventually, once it goes post-tropical this coming weekend, will get picked up by a frontal system and start moving away out to or farther towards Europe. But again, Wanda is out there and is the last system on the list. Let me see if I don't think I'm going to be able to pull up. Yeah, here's just the latest graphics on it. I was hoping I could pull up the satellite. I didn't get that queued up in time. But I did want to show you, well, let's go back to the 5-day outlook from the National Hurricane Center. So, and give you the latest on what's going on there. Here's the 2-day, just a 10% chance of this broad area of low pressure, southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands. It continues to produce some disorganized shower activity. It's not going to get much better. Here's the satellite image. That's what I was going to show you. See that swirl out there with Wanda. And then here is this low. The 5-day outlook looks like it's just going to kind of stay out there off Cabo Verde. Not much chance left as winds are going to start getting less conducive in the upper levels of the atmosphere in the next couple of days and pretty much shut off any development there. Nothing else to watch for in the tropics right now. Here's some latest. Here we go. This is from the Climate Prediction Center. Showing areas where they're expecting any significant possibilities of development, and really the Caribbean is just shut off. Up here off the North Atlantic, that's where Wanda has developed. That area still has a little bit of potential, actually calling it prior tropical cyclone formation for the previous week. Looks like maybe some stuff down in the Western Caribbean might have a potential there. Really, it's going to be almost below average rainfall in these areas. They've got moderate confidence of that down in the Caribbean. We've really seen the Caribbean shut off as far as any activity. And it looks like it's going to stay that way. We really aren't going to see anything over the next 2 weeks, potentially. So this year, looks like our tropical weather season is going to wind down right on the edge of record territory. Not quite what we got last year, not quite what we got in 2005, but it's still going to be, one for the record books. But again, we have run out of names on the primary list. That means we go to the secondary, the auxiliary list, rather than using the Greek alphabet as has been done the last couple of years, last 30 or so years. And it's only happened twice, 2005, 2020, were the only years we've gone into the Greek alphabet for tropical storm names, tropical cyclone names. We're going to have an auxiliary list that was approved back in March. The first name on that list is Adria. It's Adria, but it's pronounced Adria. And that list will run through if needed, but it really does look like that things have pretty much shut down for the tropics this year. And we won't be dealing with anything else, most likely. Braylon will be after Adria, then Caridad. I haven't looked at the pronouncers on all these yet. It's Deshaun, Emery, Foster, and Gemma. They have approved a list of alternate Atlantic tropical cyclone names and Pacific tropical cyclone names in case the list gets used, rather than going to the Greek alphabet. There was a lot of confusion with that because, you go alpha, beta, gamma. It doesn't stay in alphabetical order in the English language. So that was the reason why that was changed up, was to make it a little bit easier for the public to be able to track these names as we go on. All right, so here on OBX Today for this Monday morning, presented by Gallup Funeral Services. We told you about this story last week. We played some of the video from last week's show, but in case you jumped in and missed it, wanted to give you an opportunity for some of you to check out video and photos now. We're getting some photos. This week, 30 years ago, we were dealing with the Halloween storm, which, of course, eventually became known as the infamous Perfect Storm because of the movie that was shot in 2020 that dramatized the sinking of the Andrea Gale off Newfoundland back in 2000. That Perfect Storm, of course, the Halloween storm as we know it here caused quite a bit of damage along the Outer Banks. And we've had some photos submitted over the weekend. You can check out at obxtoday.com. You can check out video. It turns out that video that we played last week was from Carol Ann Angelos, owner of the Jolly Roger, and shows how the flooding and all was going on around the restaurant there in Killable Hills and in the 3rd Street area of Killable Hills. And you can check that out as well as thanks to Lane Gregory. She shared quite a few photos with us from when the Halloween storm hit from up around the Kitty Hawk Pier area, as well as the bypass. Picture of a North Carolina power truck driving down the bypass, which was completely flooded out in front of Stackham High. And then, you know what? I don't know why I'm talking about this. I can be showing it to you. And then here's the one of the waves just smashing the bulkhead at the Kitty Hawk Pier. Of course, this was way before the Hilton existed there in Kitty Hawk. But that picture from Elaine Gregory of the Kitty Hawk Pier when they had that with the waves hitting there. Here's that photo I talked about of the North Carolina power truck going down the bypass there, Stackham High over here to the right. Here's the shopping center there at milepost 4.5 in Kitty Hawk. We've seen that scene quite a few times, and not all that long ago that we saw some of that flooding in that area. And then here's Lisa Bowman out on Kitty Hawk Pier. Elaine Gregory got this picture of her pointing at the waves crashing on the end of the pier. So anyway, if you want to check that out, memories of the Halloween storm 30 years ago this week, you can go to obxtoday.com and check that out. All right. It is OBX Today here on the OBX Today Facebook page and the Sam Walker OBX YouTube channel presented by Gallup Funeral Services. A couple other stories to get to before we take a break. Dare County Schools bus was involved in a minor collision Friday morning in Manio. Happened around 7 o'clock on Friday at the corner of Sir Walter Raleigh and Simon Streets. That's over towards the Bowsertown section. Car just scraped the side of the bus. 5 students were on board. Nobody was hurt. Just some minor property damage with that crash. All right, and we will take a break, and when we come back, we've got more here on OBX Today on Facebook and YouTube, presented by Gallup Funeral Services. Stay right there.
For over 15 years, Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated has been a beacon of light, guiding local families through difficult times. Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated proudly provides all families with compassionate choices for professional funeral care at reasonable prices. Get the answers you need 24 hours a day. No answering services, hidden costs, add-on fees, confusing fine print, or those scary-looking contracts. Remember, Gallup Funeral Services owns and operates the only crematory in Dare County, keeping our cremations affordable and convenient. Gallup Memorial Chapel in Bargo, North Carolina is now open and minutes from Moyock and Elizabeth City. From traditional church services and graveside burials to direct cremations and advanced planning, let Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated light the way for your family. Don't be pressured or confused by the other funeral homes. It's always your choice. Choose Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated. Call Courtney at 252-216-8030 to get a plan started today, and visit our new website at gallupfuneralservices.com.
When everybody's healthy in a community, you have a more productive community. We assess all our patients for mental health needs. We make referrals to mental health providers, and then in turn we can provide free medications, all the mental health medications they need through a grant that we have. With screening and preventive care, adults that are 45 and over, it's recommended that they have some type of colon cancer screening. And we do offer that to any of our patients 45 and over. We also refer all of our female patients to the health department for mammography. We collaborate with many local entities. We work closely with the Outer Banks Hospital and their Center for Healthy Living. We have partnerships with imaging centers where we can help people get affordable MRIs, CTs, specialist care, surgeries, x-rays. We do all our own lab work in-house. We are focusing on patients with uncontrolled diabetes, working in a partnership also with the Beach Food Pantry to get healthy food choices and really spend time educating those patients about diabetes, the foods, and exercise. So really the sky's the limit, and we will find a way to get you access and make it for a healthier tomorrow.
Back here on OBX Today, presented by Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated on the OBX Today Facebook page and the Sam Walker OBX YouTube channel. Sad news coming from our friends at the Corolla Wild Horse Fund this week. The announcement that one of their young stallions, Taco, as he was affectionately known, was one of the more recognizable horses in the herd. He stood out from the crowd due to a large lump that had been on his hip since he was about 2 years old. Lump had nothing to do with his death. It turned out it was a sterile abscess that never impacted his quality of life and was monitored closely and regularly by their vet. Most people knew Taco because of it. Vet determined, though, that the Taco died from consuming contaminated water. He's the fourth horse in the last 2 years that they've lost due to bacteria or other contaminants in the water. Taco was only 8 years old, and over the summer, he managed to steal a large group of mares from another stallion. Meg Puckett, who's herd manager for the Corolla Wild Horse Fund, said they were hopeful that he would produce some offspring, and perhaps he still will. There's a chance one of those mares is pregnant. Taco's dam was Kitty Hawk, who lives on the rescue farm in Grandy. She was part of a group that was removed from the beach in 2018 because they kept going across the state line, and they're not allowed up there. His sire was Flint, who's still alive in the wild. Flint was the sire of Danny, who was tragically lost to choking on apple last year. And Sebastian, who was born last year, is growing up into a lovely young stallion. The loss of Taco's genetics from the herd is truly devastating, Meg said. Now, they've collected water from various locations on Taco's territory and will be sending it out for testing next week. And that'll give them a better idea of the quality of water. It will indicate the presence of contaminants like E. coli or salmonella. Unfortunately, there's not much they can do to rid the water of bacteria, but having the information on hand at least gives them an idea of which areas might be more problematic than others. It also allows them to keep an eye on the horses, those areas for signs of intestinal distress or other issues. Thankfully, this week, they've seen all the horses Taco's been recently associated with, and they all seem fine. They are hoping, and a lot of us are hoping, for maybe an extended solid freeze this winter. I don't know, the way things are looking, though, it may not happen. In terms of the weather, because that will help kill off some of the bacteria, will help in the sound and in the body and in the bays and creeks and such that the wild horses roam on their side of the Currituck Sound. So, one of the horses, Taco, passing away back last week. Let's see if I can get this photo to pull up here. Maybe not. It may not pull up in time. Nope. All right, so of course, we are ready to go with Election Day tomorrow here in North Carolina. It's just municipal elections and towns and cities having their elections, but not all of them. Some are not, because with the delay in getting the census done last year and the delay in data from the Census Bureau, the data that was needed to determine voting districts in the cities and towns, and of course our legislative districts, has been delayed. We're going to get to redistricting in a moment, but because of that, some of North Carolina's towns had to put off the elections this year, mainly the major cities. But 4 here in Northeast North Carolina will not be having elections tomorrow. Elizabeth City, Edenton, Ahoskie, and Plymouth are not having their elections tomorrow. But all the Dare County towns will be having them. Early voting wrapped up on Saturday. The polls will be open tomorrow, 6:30 to 7:30. I know the TV, all will talk about Virginia and their gubernatorial election and their state elections tomorrow, and their polls run on a different schedule, 6 to 7. But North Carolina is 6:30 to 7:30. The polling places for this year, There are a couple of changes because of COVID-19 protocols. So they have changed up 2 of the polling places in Dare County, in the towns for this year. I'm sure I can get this up because I know a lot of you are on mobile, but we can get that zoomed down enough for you to maybe be able to see that. Duck, of course, will be at Town Hall. Killable Hills will have their voting at Town Hall. Kitty Hawk will be at Town Hall. Manio will have theirs at the Dare County Administration Building and the Board of Elections office. Nags Head will have their election at the Nags Head Elementary School. That's where the 2020 general election was, and the primary in 2020. But they usually will have the municipal election at Nags Head's Town Hall. This year, it's going to be at the elementary school. Same thing for Southern Shores. Rather than in the Pitt Center, Southern Shores voters will go to Kitty Hawk Elementary School. That's kind of confusing. Kitty Hawk Town Hall and Southern Shores votes in Kitty Hawk Elementary School. So again, Nags Head, Southern Shores, you're voting at 2 different places tomorrow. Nags Head Elementary School and the Kitty Hawk Elementary School for Southern Shores will be where everybody votes those places tomorrow. We'll have coverage here at obxtoday.com of the election results as they come in. We'll get those up for you throughout the evening tomorrow evening for election night 2021. Speaking of elections, the North Carolina legislature is expected to approve new legislative districts this week, or at least get their side of it done this week. But it probably is not going to be a situation where these maps are going to be approved immediately. And I say approved because they're going to face some judicial scrutiny. In fact, on Friday, when it was announced that this week was going to be when the legislature is going to start working on it, there was already a lawsuit filed before even the House districts had been put out. Here's what we're looking at. One of the proposals for the districts for the state House. And one thing to note is that you can see, I'm trying to zoom down on this, and we really have not gotten a clarification on it yet, but that Dare County would be split into 2 different districts. And it looks like Duck, Southern Shores, and possibly Kitty Hawk are going to be in the same district with Currituck, Terrell, Washington, Chowan, Perquimans. This is the only House map we've seen so far. And then the rest of Dare County would be in the district that includes Hyde, Beaufort, and Pamlico. Somewhat similar to what's going on now with House District 6, but you're going to throw Beaufort in there. But Currituck would be in District 1, and then Pasquotank, Camden would be split out with Gates and Hereford County. So very, very disjointed House map is what's currently the only one we've seen. The state Senate maps, there's about a half dozen of them. Most of them make a pretty significant change in that it would take current State Senator Bob Steinberg and put him in a different district than District 1. He would be down in the district with Washington, Hyde, Pamlico, Carteret, Martin, Halifax, and Warren counties. There are different variations of this map that we've seen for the rest of the state, but it hasn't really made much changes for our part of the state. So Dare, Currituck, and the rest of District 1 and part of District 3 would be combined. And again, Chowan would be carved out of District 1 and put into a different district. That's most of the proposals that are in the Senate. That would double bunk State Senator Bob Steinberg with another senator down in Carteret County. So we'll see what that may lead to if that one gets approved. The congressional districts, this has been kind of the common map. This is essentially what we're working with right now here in the Northeast. With Districts 1 and District 3. But there have been some maps that have Dare and Currituck in this district. It would go all the way out to Caswell County, north of Burlington. This is one of several versions of the congressional maps for North Carolina. So again, all that stuff, we're going to see proposals on that coming fully, most likely today. I know the House has a hearing set for 2 o'clock. For their redistricting committee, and we'll see what comes out of that as far as what their map is going to be finalized. although we've only seen one version. The congressional maps, they're going to probably get bounced back and forth between the House and Senate, but that's expected to be approved by the end of the week. But as I mentioned, there are legal challenges already brewing. We've already heard at least one lawsuit is coming down the pipe on these redistricting maps. There could be others, but Senate and House committees will meet today and then send them to the floor by the end of the week. Of course, North Carolina is getting a 14th congressional district this year because of our population growth. And from what experts are saying, the maps that are being drawn by the Republican-controlled legislature would give the GOP a 10-4 advantage in terms of how things went a year ago. But most likely these suits are going to probably hold up using these maps at least possibly into 2022, but they definitely will be going to court. All right, more of OBX Today is coming up here on the OBX Today Facebook channel and the Sam Walker OBX YouTube channel presented by Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated. Stick around.
For over 15 years, Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated has been a beacon of light, guiding local families through difficult times. Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated proudly provides all families with compassionate choices for professional funeral care at reasonable prices. Get the answers you need 24 hours a day. No answering services, hidden costs, add-on fees, confusing fine print, or those scary-looking contracts. Remember, Gallup Funeral Services owns and operates the only crematory in Dare County, keeping our cremations affordable and convenient. Gallup Memorial Chapel in Bargo, North Carolina is now open and minutes from Moyock and Elizabeth City. From traditional church services and graveside burials to direct cremations and advanced planning, let Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated light the way for your family. Don't be pressured or confused by the other funeral homes. It's always your choice. Choose Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated. Call Courtney at 252-216-8030 to get a plan started today and visit our new website at gallupfuneralservices.com.
This week's Champion for Children is brought to you by Children and Youth Partnership for Dare County, helping families thrive. Jean Louise Dixon, Director of the Hatteras Island Youth Education Fund, has been identified as a champion for children. Can you tell us a little about what you do to help children, youth, and families thrive in our community?
My name is Jean Louise Dixon, also known as Scout Dixon, and my husband and I moved to Hatteras Island in 1993. I am serving as the Director of the Hatteras Island Youth Education Fund, which is a nonprofit charitable foundation that I established in 2010. I am also serving as the Secretary of the Outer Banks Community Foundation and currently the Chair for the Scholarship Committee. We raised 3 sons here, and when they first started school, I quickly realized that teachers in rural areas like this one cannot depend upon fall festivals to raise funds for projects, school supplies, or field trips. We do not have the population to fill the stands at athletic events to provide much funding for our booster club. The Hatteras Island Youth Education Fund supports the educational needs of elementary and secondary students by providing funding for equipment, material, and experiences that would not otherwise be available to these students through public funding. Teachers on Hatteras Island have an opportunity twice a year to submit their applications to our board. Our board is comprised of local community members. You can find a complete list of the grants awarded to date to our teachers on our website, hatterasuYouth.com. But to date, we have distributed over $436,000. A few grants to note. We purchased in 2011 the band uniforms for the first time ever for our marching band. We built a research pier behind the secondary school. We have supported the math competitions and the travel expenses for those competitions. We have paid for the DECA competitions, the supplies and the travel expenses for Science Olympiad. We have sponsored the University of North Carolina Destiny Science Lab bus several years to come down to our school. We have also sponsored a visit from the Moorhead Planetarium bus. So that's just a few of the grants that we've awarded to date. To be sustainable, we have 2 annual events. The Shore Break 5K and Tide Pool Fun Run is every Memorial Day in Avon, and then the Surf and Turkey 5K is held on Thanksgiving morning in Hatteras Village. I do want to say I greatly appreciate your recognition of my service to our community, but I must say that it is the volunteers that have supported Hi-F over all these years that have enabled us to achieve success. So thank you very much.
Do you have anything special coming up that you'd like the community to know about?
Absolutely. The Surf and Turkey 5K and Puppy Drum Run is going to be held on Thanksgiving morning at 8 a.m. in Hatteras Village, and we would greatly appreciate your support. When you register for the race, now you can walk or you can run, you can bring your pet, and you can dress up if you want. You can join one of the teacher teams, and the teacher with the most registrations will receive $500 for classroom supplies. So thank you very much, and we hope to see you out there.
If people want to get involved with the Hatteras Island Youth Education Fund, what should they do?
They can go to our website at hatterasYouth.com or friend us on Facebook.
If you would like to nominate a person or group to be a champion for children, please contact CYP at 252-441-0614.
Back on OBX Today on Facebook and YouTube, presented by Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated. On this Monday morning, almost forgot what day it was. Just heads up, those of you travel down to Ocracoke, starting tomorrow, the Hatteras Ocracoke route is going to be going on the winter schedule of 18 departures from each side. Currently on the 26 from each side schedule. But with things getting into November, even though we're expecting still a pretty busy off-season, it really isn't an off-season anymore. Talking with folks about the number of houses that are already still occupied or going to be occupied going into November and going into Thanksgiving this year and even in December. It's still going to be busy, but they will be going to the 18 departure schedule from each side starting tomorrow on the Hatteras and Ocracoke ferries. Hatteras side, top of the hour, starting at 5 a.m. Ocracoke side starts at 4:30 and runs the bottom of the hour through midnight from both sides with some spacing in there. It's not just every hour. There are a little bit longer spacing at times. But, again, that starts tomorrow. The Swan Quarter and Cedar Island routes are already on their winter schedules of 3 departures from each side each day. And you can, of course, find the details on the schedule, what time those ferries run at obxtoday.com. Just got this from over in Elizabeth City a moment ago, update on the police chief situation, as Eddie Buffalo, who was the public safety director and police chief, as well as interim city manager, has departed. Today was his last day. Or yesterday was officially his last day. He starts today as the Secretary of Public Safety for the state of North Carolina after his appointment by Governor Cooper. That is pending approval by the Senate. It is expected to clear the Senate. Could possibly be this week, with the Senate trying to wrap up its work this week, next week on the budget. They most likely would approve that appointment. It's a cabinet position that does require Senate confirmation. And interim city manager Ralph Clark has named Captain Larry James Sr. as interim chief of police. He'll take that on in November. He's been with the Elizabeth City Police Department since the year 2000 and has worked his way through the ranks. Served the department over the past 20 years under 8 different chiefs of police. So Larry James Sr. will now be, he is going to be the interim chief of police in Elizabeth City. As they begin their search not only for a police chief, but a city manager in Elizabeth City. Right now, interim there is Ralph Clark. He was appointed after Monterey Freeman was let go by the city of Elizabeth City earlier this spring. Back in the summer. Let's see. Currituck County Commissioners and Board of Education met last week in a joint session. They are discussing a possible bond referendum in 2024 that could generate at least $100 million for school needs. a architect told Currituck School Board and Commissioners they could need to spend at least $50 million for repairs and maintenance to their current schools over the next decade. Also at that joint meeting, it was discussed that Moyock Elementary School needs 3 additional modular classrooms. It costs between $800,000 and $900,000. Those units would hold 2 classrooms each. The discussions on the projects that they're talking about over the next 10 years, a new elementary school in Moyock on Tulls Creek Road, a new middle school, possibly a second middle school in Moyock. They're already talking expanding the current one. They may have to build a second one. The commitment's already been made of $21 million to expand Moyock and Elementary and Moyock Middle to fund 2 projects that would begin in December or January and be completed by the start of the 2023 and 2024 school year. That would expand Moyock Elementary and expand Moyock Middle, with 210 students additional students being able to be held at the elementary school and 165 at the middle school. That's the discussions right now. But again, a possible bond referendum in Currituck on the 2024 ballot. Let's see here. North Carolina's alcohol law enforcement says it arrested nearly 300 people during operations at licensed businesses and other locations over the Halloween weekend. 286 arrests, 700 charges, 13 search warrants, 25 licensed businesses found in violation of state laws and regulations. They did not say specifically what businesses were involved. Sometimes they will. One business out in Lenoir lost its alcohol permit because they determined employees are distributing drugs to patrons. They did say that they did run operations in Elizabeth City and in Barco as part of this weekend round operation, but did not specifically cite any local businesses in that release. Something wild going on out in Raleigh. Some Wake County bus drivers participating in a sick out for a second day on Monday. That's causing parents to have to drive their kids to school out in Raleigh and the suburbs of the state capital. The voicemail sent Sunday afternoon to parents urged parents to have a backup plan for today, as bus driver absences could again disrupt service. Dozens of school bus drivers in Wake County and North Carolina's largest school district participated in a mass sick out to protest working conditions and better pay. About a third of the county's 600 buses did not operate on Friday. From what bus drivers have been saying is that their concerns about being overworked and underpaid, having to cover more routes because there are less drivers available, and having to work longer hours and not getting compensated for it fairly. All right, let's see. Anything else we didn't get to on the news side? No, looks like we got it all in. So we'll jump over to sports. World Series Game 5 goes to Houston last night. Astros win, and they Braves still lead 3-2. That series shifts back to Houston tomorrow night. NFL yesterday, Washington, another poor performance against Denver. Poor performance isn't even the way to put it, but had too many chances to win and not enough, didn't cash in any. Carolina beat Atlanta 19-13. Tonight, Giants and Kansas City is Monday Night Football. NHL, Carolina beats Arizona 2-1. Hurricanes now off to an 8-0 start. NASCAR at Martinsville, wild finish there. Alex Bowman, the winner. Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, and Martin Truex Jr. They will be the top 4 racing for the championship at Phoenix next week. The high school soccer playoffs will start today with Ocracoke traveling out to Eno River Academy out near Durham. Perquimans will be at Lakewood down in Goldsboro. Gates is out at River Mill Academy. Manio is home to take on North Lenoir. Camden at Roanoke Rapids. Pasquotank at James Keenan. Edenton's at Green Central. Top seed First Flight in the East 3A. They will host Rocky Mount tonight. And Currituck is headed down to Pikeville to take on CB Aycock. In the 1A state championship for volleyball in the North Carolina Independent Schools, it was Pungo Christian and Bellhaven. They beat Albemarle School in straight sets on Saturday. The 2A East Regional Final will be tomorrow as Camden hosts Bartlett Yancey. Perquimans got upset in 5 on Saturday in the 1A East semifinal. finals. So there's sports, and take a look at the OBX Today Weather Center forecast for today. It's going to be pretty decent. Not too bad at all. We're looking at sunny skies, high of 66. Things have shifted around as far as the winds go after a couple of southerly blows. We had another dry cold front move through last night, and we're going to see north winds around 10 to 15 today. Tonight, clear, 52, possibly down to 42 inland. The northeast winds 5 to 10. Tuesday, sunny, a high 68. Tuesday night, we got a weak front coming through. Maybe a shower overnight, a low 52. Cloudy and breezy Wednesday behind that front and 59. But then a better chance of showers looks like Thursday afternoon with high 61. Friday, chance of showers and breezy 61. Saturday, some showers and then clearing and 62. Looks like sunny, breezy Sunday and 63. So it's going to feel more like what we should be getting in the first week of November instead of the Indian summer weather. Coastal marine forecast today, pretty benign conditions out there. We got north winds at 10 to 15 knots, 1 foot waves or less in the sound, seas around 4 feet. By the way, our rip current forecast, they have ended for the year. National Weather Service wraps those up on the last day of October each year, so they'll be back in the spring. Water temperatures in the upper 60s, 66 to 68. Tide change coming up at Oregon Inlet's a low tide at 11:36. Sunset tonight at 6:06. Sunrise tomorrow is at 7:25. Currently outside the studios in Uptown Nags Head, it's 59 degrees here on OBX Today, and we will have more for you coming up after you see this.
For over 15 years, Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated has been a beacon of light, guiding local families through difficult times. Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated proudly provides all families with compassionate choices for professional funeral care at reasonable prices. Get the answers you need 24 hours a day. No answering services, hidden costs, add-on fees, confusing fine print, or those scary-looking contracts. Remember, Gallup Funeral Services owns and operates the only crematory in Dare County, keeping our cremations affordable and convenient. Gallup Memorial Chapel in Bargo, North Carolina is now open and minutes from Moyock and Elizabeth City. From traditional church services and graveside burials to direct cremations and advanced planning, let Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated light the way for your family. Don't be pressured or confused by the other funeral homes. It's always your choice. Choose Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated. Call Courtney at 252-216-8030 to get a plan started today, and visit our new website at gallupfuneralservices.com.
Well, there's a lot I enjoy about working for the Ferry Division. I've been surrounded by water my whole life, always wanted to work on the water, and the 7 days on, 7 days off isn't bad at all because you can get off and do your hobbies.
It is a great place to work. You can work yourself up. You have to be your own motivator. We cannot do it for you. And it's a great outdoor job. If you like the outdoors, this is a perfect job for you. If you like boats, this is a perfect job for you.
The things I enjoy most about being on the water is, of course, our office, which is spectacular.
I like my schedule, 7 days on and 7 days off, because it does give me time to pursue my other interests.
I've always loved working on the water. I've worked on the water my entire working career. I play on the water when I'm not working on the water. I enjoy the interaction with our passengers.
Working at the ferry is really awesome. You have a week on and a week off. It's a great summer job. We have a lot of college students and high school students that come and work for their summers. But if you want to stay, there's a lot of support. Everybody helps you, brings you up.
And back here on OBX Today, presented by Gallup Funeral Services. And a few things going on this week. Always this time of year, obviously very, very busy with the events, and quite a few events are going on here in the next couple of days. Next weekend, we've got quite a few events to speak of. Let's see. The Kitty Hawk Elementary PTA will have its Friday Night Lights Outdoor Carnival. That will be Friday from 4 until 8:30 at Kitty Hawk Elementary School. It's going to have a petting zoo, lizard land, a bonfire, food trucks, music, games, book sale, silent auction, and raffle drawing. That'll start at 7 o'clock. Christian from Beach 104, he's going to be out there broadcasting and live as well. That's going to be coming up on Friday at Kitty Hawk Elementary School. We're going to have some details about that going up at obxtoday.com on the Things to Do page. Let's see. Also coming up on Sunday at 2 p.m., St. Andrews by the Sea in Nags Head is going to be hosting the 14th annual Gem Day Services candle lighting. This is to honor family caregivers and our community friends for supporting loved ones living with dementia, to remember those who passed, and to care for those who are on the journey. That's going to be coming up Sunday at 2 p.m. This, of course, for the 14th annual candle lighting, the Gentle Expert Memory Care to honor, remember, and care. Again, at St. Andrews in Nags Head. That'll be on Sunday at 2 p.m. The Bulls and Barbecue, Corey Tuck's Bulls and Barbecue. That's going to be coming up on this weekend. On Saturday at the Corey Tuck Rural Center down in Powell's Point from noon until 6. Enjoy a full day of family fun, including a rodeo, Kansas City Barbecue Society sanctioned competition, and People's Choice tasting opportunity. Live music with Manny O'Murphy, a craft market, mechanical bull rides, cornhole tournament, local food vendors, and much more. Plus, the Southern Extreme Bull Riding Association will be having a rodeo going on with the top bull riders and barrel racers. Now, rodeo tickets are available for $15 in advance for adults, kids 12 and under, $10, and can be purchased right up on through Friday at the Welcome Center in Moyock or by phone. If you click on the ad at obxtoday.com, it'll get you the ticket link there. The Kansas City Barbecue Society, something to note about that, the competition will be going on. It's not like you can go around and sample that. There will be sampling available in a different way with the People's Choice tasting opportunity, but it's not like you can go up and see and taste what they're cooking at the competition. That's one thing about those competitions. They're only able to do that for the judges. They will have opportunities to sample things, but it won't be as far as the competition goes. But some of the participants will be taking part in that. And that's coming up on Saturday, and will be happening again at the Currituck County Rural Center down in Powell's Point. Just look for the signs out on 158 to get there. And you can get details. There's an ad at the top of the page at obxtoday.com to find out all about that. A lot of other things to talk about and then check out. Just head over to the Things to Do page at obxtoday.com, and you will find all that community information right there. Again, we talked about it earlier. We'd love to get some more photos of memories from the Halloween storm of 2000, the Halloween storm of 1991. We've got a few photos up there and some of the video with that. And if you haven't seen it, you can go by obxtoday.com and check it out. Some of that video that was provided to us or through the Outer Banks History Center and Carol Ann over at the Jolly Rogers video she shot from around the restaurant 30 years ago. And in case you haven't had a chance to see that, you know what? I think we will play that for you right now here on OBX Today, because it's just impressive to see how much, how much the beach has changed, how much it hasn't changed in that part anyway. But you can see some of that damage that was caused, or damage, but the flooding, the flooding, the waves and such from the Halloween storm of 1991. So in case you haven't seen that, here you go.
Big wave came, you see it? Oh my God.
Hey, don't film until I get out there.
What the? Look at the wave. I wouldn't go out there. Don't go out there, Robert. Robert. Robert, watch it. Oh my gosh. Oh, look at the pumpkins. I told you everything's gonna go right there. There it goes.
There it goes.
There it goes. Trick or treat. Check out our pumpkins, man. They're all gone. Oh, the garbage. Look at that.
What's this big thing coming down here?
It's a garbage.
Up there?
Yeah. It's a dumpster. A dumpster, garbage, yeah.
Hey, grab that pumpkin.
All the way up there.
Look at it coming in.
It's real bad. Oh, my God.
Here you are, folks. We're looking at the beach road, Highway 12.
Gotta get Sam. Look at that rod reel on Sam. Look at this.
I haven't got a whole fish.
I have a flight to get back.
Let's go get a flounder fillet. Come to catch fillet. No,
Well, that's-
don't get no deal.
That's the way we get them here, already filleted.
America's craziest home video. There you go. Go get a surfboard without a fin on it. Put a rope on it. Have somebody pull it.
I'm surprised somebody ain't done did that already down here.
What?
Catch a wave.
With a surfboard and a driveway.
Yeah.
That'd be a trip. Splashing into the thing here. The way it was coming across.
It's unbelievably incredible.
Sam?
We've got a handful of people inside the sunroom. They're playing poker. Ruth Coleman, John Connor, George Angelos, Greg Morris was in there. Burkett. Robert was playing. Carol Ann. Joni's still up there. Joni Knipe. Hey, how about a wave up there? That's good. Get a little bit right here, Robert. Can you believe that, folks? Look at all that water. Let me sign off here a minute. Just missed a nice big wave coming over here. We're standing back the Mariner, where the water's just pouring in.
You go over here. Did you get that?
What?
You're looking the wrong way.
No, I'm looking down here. I'm trying to get this water going down this way. Mariner 2.
Show you what's going on here. We're up on the roof above the Jolly Roger. There's the foam up on the benches. Beach Road, Highway 12. There it is, flowing in on more water on the beach road. There's that ocean. This is the field where the proposed Kmart's going to be. This is usually a dry field. Seagulls are loving it.
For over 15 years, Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated has been a beacon of light, guiding local families through difficult times. Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated proudly provides all families with compassionate choices for professional funeral care at reasonable prices. Get the answers you need 24 hours a day. No answering services, hidden costs, add-on fees, confusing fine print, or those scary-looking contracts. Remember, Gallup Funeral Services owns and operates the only crematory in Dare County, keeping our cremations affordable and convenient. Gallup Memorial Chapel in Bargo, North Carolina is now open and minutes from Moyock and Elizabeth City. From traditional church services and graveside burials to direct cremations and advanced planning, let Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated light the way for your family. Don't be pressured or confused by the other funeral homes. It's always your choice. Choose Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated. Call Courtney at 252-216-8030 to get a plan started today and visit our new website at gallupfuneralservices.com.
Back here one final time on OBX Day for this Monday morning. Thanks everybody for joining us. Back with you tomorrow. And tomorrow we're planning to have some details about the Dare County Arts Council as they get ready for their Veterans Week activities. Whole lot of great stuff that's going to be coming up. And we are scheduled to be talking about that, all about that tomorrow. As in our first chance to speak to our the executive director of the Dare County Arts Council, Jessica Sands. She's scheduled to join us here on OBX Today for tomorrow morning when we talk with her later on today. And give us even a little Zoom tour of the gallery there in downtown Mania. So looking forward to that. So have a great day, everybody. You've been watching OBX Today Live, presented by Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated here on the OBX Today Facebook page and Sam Walker OBX YouTube channel. We'll see you next time.